Hello everyone, welcome back to another Life is Strange video. If you've been keeping an eye on my channel, you will know that over the last 2 to 3 weeks I've been posting quite a lot of Life is Strange content, but only specific topics. If you've been living under a rock, you will not know that a new Life is Strange game under the name Life is Strange Double Exposure was announced around 2 to 3 weeks ago, and we were treated to a trailer which showed us that Max Caulfield, the original protagonist of Life is Strange 1, is back all the way over in Vermont in Caledon University, where her new best friend Safi is unfortunately murdered on campus, and Max has to utilise her new power to shift between realities to try and solve the murder and potentially prevent it. Now, as I said earlier, I've made a few videos talking about Life is Strange Double Exposure, but all of them have been specific topics. The first video I made was obviously my trailer reaction, so you can go and watch that. There'll be a link down in the description. Pretty self-explanatory. I just give my initial thoughts, and at the time we only had the trailer. We didn't have any other information about the game, so I reacted to the trailer on camera and I just spoke about it. And then I made a second video where I spoke about the reveal live stream that Deck9 did a couple days after the trailer dropping, which just gave us a little bit more information about Double Exposure. We got to see some gameplay, they did some interviews with Hannah Tell, who's the voice actor of Max Caulfield, and 2 Deck9 employees who were just disclosing a little bit more information about the game. And then I made a video talking about Chloe Price, who is a very essential character in the Life is Strange universe, especially when it concerns Max Caulfield. In that video, I just spoke about her involvement, whether there'll be any involvement of Chloe Price in the new game, and my personal thoughts. However, I've not made any videos where I just talk about Life is Strange Double Exposure as a whole. I do have a few concerns regarding the game, and as well as just some other things I'd like to talk about, and things I want to talk about that I spoke about in my previous videos, but since then have now been cleared up. So let's talk about Life is Strange Double Exposure. So obviously, Max Caulfield is back. I'm extremely happy about Max being back. She was a great protagonist in the first Life is Strange 1 game as only 18 years old there. So obviously Life is Strange Double Exposure is 10 years later, so it would make Max roughly between the ages of 27, 29 years old. And it has been officially confirmed that Max is a member of the faculty at the university and not a student, and it was also confirmed that Max is 10 years older in this game. The 10 years has obviously gone by since the events of Chloe and Arcadia Bay. Max was obviously a character that a lot of people felt connected to and related to in the first Life is Strange game. I think she was really well written. Hannah Tell did an absolutely stand-up job voicing her, and I could not imagine anyone else voicing Max apart from Hannah. So I have no doubt that she will absolutely kill it in the new Life is Strange game, for sure. However, there were some concerns. Now, I've been spending a lot of time on Life is Strange Twitter, which is absolutely booming at the moment because of the new game, which is great. It's good to see the community being so active again. But a lot of people have been voicing their concerns about Max reappearing. Now, obviously, there was nothing about Chloe has been confirmed about her being in the game. In the reveal trailer, we did get to see a cutscene where Max is looking at a picture of Chloe and seems quite melancholy about it, as well as part of a conversation that Max and Safi have where Safi asks Max what is the deal with the picture of the girl with the blue hair in her wallet, which is obviously referencing Chloe. Now, a lot of people have theorized that this is the sacrifice Chloe choice that they showed in the gameplay trailer, and to be honest, it makes a lot of sense. I obviously spoke about this in the video regarding Chloe, and I hadn't thought of the fact that they may have chosen in this gameplay trailer to sacrifice Chloe. They may have chosen that conversational dialogue rather than sacrificing Arcadia Bay. So I think that that isn't really a true reflection of what the game will be like if you decided to sacrifice Arcadia Bay. But I was kind of straying away from my main point there, but a lot of people are concerned about Max actually reappearing. Now, if you have a look at previous Life is Strange games, in my opinion, all of the Life is Strange games between the first one and now are great in their own way. I've played every single one and I enjoyed them all in their own way. Obviously, there are some that I've enjoyed more than others. We all have preference of which Life is Strange game we think is the strongest and which we think is the least strongest. And although at the time of those individual games being announced and the weight of them coming out and them releasing, they had their own individual hype. I don't think anything compared to the hype of Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange Before the Storm, which featured the original cast. I may be totally wrong, but in my opinion, being around at the time in the Life is Strange community when all of those games in between then and now have come out, this definitely feels more hype because of Max, and because of potentially Chloe. But a lot of people have accused Deck 9 and Square Enix of using Max as a marketing tool to get people to buy the new Life is Strange game. A lot of people have complained about the previous Life is Strange games being Life is Strange 2 and specifically Life is Strange 2 and Life is Strange True Colors having a new cast of characters and a new protagonist, and there not being many familiar faces in these games. Obviously in Life is Strange 2 we got to see some Life is Strange 1 characters, some being David. And we got a little bit of a reference depending on which ending you chose in Life is Strange 1 and what you told Life is Strange 2 at the beginning of the game, because it does ask you if you've played Life is Strange 1 and what was your final choice, and based on what you choose it changes a certain scene in the game. Obviously if you tell the game that you sacrificed Chloe, you get to meet David Madsen and I think Away, where he talks about Chloe and her unfortunate passing and that him and Joyce did split. But if you chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, David is still at Away, but he talks about the destruction of Arcadia Bay and the passing of Joyce, but confirms that Max and Chloe are still alive and well and seem to be traveling, and you get to see a really adorable picture of them in his trailer as well, which just sent loads of fans wild, including myself. But Double Exposure did come with a lot of hype because of Max, but where we've obviously had no show of Chloe, a lot of people have been accusing the developers and Square Enix of course of just using Max as a marketing tool to get people to play the game again. Now obviously choosing Max as a protagonist, there is a strong likelihood that yes, a lot of it is just a marketing thing. They know that if they introduce an old Life is Strange character into this new game, especially if they're the main protagonist in a previous game and are now the main protagonist in this new game, it's going to get people interested, new fans and definitely old fans alike. I know there are a lot of Life is Strange fans who have not played the other installments of the game because they are such big fans of the first Life is Strange game only, so it's obviously reeling these people in as well. Obviously Max isn't Max without Chloe at this stage. I know Max is a character that stands on her own, but Chloe is a big part of Max's story and the way she is and why she is where she is today potentially. So I think it definitely would be wrong of the developers if you chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay for them to completely disregard that decision that you've made. In the reveal interview and trailer they did say that Life is Strange Double Exposure was a game that stood on its own, so you did not need to play any of the previous Life is Strange games to understand what is going on in Life is Strange Double Exposure. But in the same breath they also said that Double Exposure does honour the massive choice you make at the end of Life is Strange 1. So I don't really know what that means. It was clear to me in the reveal stream that they were specifically told not to ask about Chloe. I think if you chose to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, obviously there are people that sacrifice Chloe, so I'm not going to forget about you guys, so I'm going to make sure I say that before each time I discuss Chloe being alive. But if you sacrificed Arcadia Bay, I just hope that that big decision and the sacrifice you made for that person isn't disregarded. So I'm just going to take their word for it and hope that they mean it. Next thing I want to talk about is, in my previous video I spoke about a character that awfully resembled Rachel Amber. This has now been debunked. The character is called Loretta Rice and the voice actor did come forward and confirm the name of this character and who she was. The voice actor is not Kylie Brown, but I'm sure this character and this voice actor again are going to absolutely kill it. And it was fun to theorise about it potentially being Rachel. I myself am a very big Rachel fan. I really liked her character and I felt like she was very much misunderstood in the Life is Strange universe, and a lot of people dislike her character, but I do just believe she was misunderstood. So it would have been cool to see her in Double Exposure, even though it wouldn't have really made sense, but I just wanted to bring that up. Unfortunately, that has been debunked. It is not Rachel Amber, but it was fun to talk about. The final thing I want to talk about today, which kind of winds me up about the game, is the different editions that you can get of Double Exposure. Now, there are essentially 3 versions of the game you can purchase. Obviously, there is the standard edition, which just comes with the game on its own. And then you have the deluxe edition, which comes with a bunch of downloadable content. And then you have the ultimate edition, which comes with even more downloadable content, exclusive cat content, as well as 2 weeks early access. And then we have a separate edition of the game, which is a collector's edition, but it does not actually come with the physical game. Now, I think, again, deluxe edition, fine. Ultimate edition, fine. But the only thing that irks me about the ultimate edition is why do we have to pay like an additional £20 odd to get early access to this game and not get spoilers? You get access to the first 2 chapters of the game early if you choose to pre-order Ultimate. and the Ultimate Edition is sitting at about $74.99, which is not cheap for a game, and to be honest with you, it is definitely a huge price jump from the Standard Edition, just so you don't get the game spoiled for you. I really do think this was a bit of a lame move from Deck 9, because I think the big appeal of Life is Strange games when they first come out is being able to experience it together, and not everyone is really in the financial situation to pay an additional amount of money just to not get the game spoiled for them. I know that they've not been told that they have to pre-order the Ultimate Edition, and that's not what I'm saying, but the fact that some people feel like that they do have to spend the extra money just so they don't get the game spoiled for them, because no doubt in my mind there are going to be spoilers. There are people out there that do spoil these things, and if you don't want the game spoiled for you, you're just going to have to avoid social media, but I don't think it should be that way. That is definitely the whole gimmick of the Ultimate Edition, not just the exclusive content, but getting early access to the game. For me, that just I find to be, I just don't think I like it, to be honest with you. It just doesn't sit well with me. And obviously we have the Collector's Edition, which I personally have pre-ordered the Collector's Edition mainly because I want to unbox it and I want to make a video about it. Plus I'm a huge Life is Strange fan, and it just makes sense to me because I do have the limited and Collector's Editions of the previous games, so it only makes sense to me to have this as a collector's edition as well. But I think it really sucks that it doesn't come with the game. If you look at previous collector's editions of Life is Strange games, they always came with a copy of the game, even Life is Strange 2. I actually unboxed Life is Strange 2 collector's edition on my channel, and that actually came with the physical game. So I don't know what is stopping them from doing this. I know it's just to get more money. I mean, the collector's edition I think was about $54.99, $49.99, something between that price range, but it's still not cheap. And like, the main gimmick is obviously the game, but it doesn't include the game. That is just another thing that doesn't really sit right with me. So now I've pre-ordered the collector's edition, I'm gonna now have to pre-order the game separately, which I just think is really annoying and more money being spent. I know that is probably the whole idea. They're trying to make as much money as they can out of this, and that's fair enough, but why do that? Like, they've never done that before, and now they're suddenly doing this. I just hope that the length of the game is worth the money, because True Colors, again, an absolutely amazing game, and I paid full price for that game. I think I paid for the Ultimate Edition, so it was about £70, but it didn't feel worth the £70 because it was an awfully short game. So I just hope we don't have this issue with Life is Strange Double Exposure. I just hope it's an adequately lengthed game, because True Colors was just ridiculously short for the money people paid for it. I know we have the Wavelengths DLC to add on to that, but I think even with the Wavelengths DLC, in comparison to like the first Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2, True Colors was very short. Before the Storm I can let off the hook because I don't think that was like a full priced, really expensive game, and they did clarify from the beginning that it was only going to be 3 episodes and it was just a prequel. But Double Exposure is an entirely just like, it's obviously the same game, but it's a new installment, so if they're going to charge that much for the game, I just hope it's long enough. It's not really short. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know down in the comments what you are thinking right now, Double Exposure, where you're sitting with it. I just wanted to make this video just to voice some concerns that were going on in the community, and just to talk about the game a little bit more, because I've spoken about specific things, specific videos, but I've not actually made a video where I just word vomit about the game. So that's what this video is, me just word vomiting about Life is Strange Double Exposure. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like. I'll really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a lot more content on the new Life is Strange game and doing more coverage as more information comes out about it. So I would really appreciate if you left a subscribe, and plus I'm getting really close to that 1,000 subscribers mark, and I think the fact that I'm so close to hitting that milestone, I know for a lot of people it's a very small milestone, but I just never imagined it for my channel. So the fact that we're only a couple hundred subscribers away is just mind-blowing to me. So thank you all so much. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Goodbye and take care.